Lord sanctified them. And Moses told it to Aaron and his sons and to all the children of Israel. He may eat the bread of his God, both the most holy and the holy. As somebody who has got defects, and that time Aaron was an appointed priest, the brother of Moses, an appointed priest in that time. So if somebody has got defects, it's some sort of where God is trying to say, if he's not very clean or that, he can't come close to me, or he can't come close to anywhere around me or where my altar is. Now, what do you think of that? God is merciful. God is clean. Whatever is the defect is, I don't think there's anything, because God was alone in the entire world, as we learn from Genesis. Weren't there defects? Has there not been defect? Has not He been the one that commands and controls the defects and the things that are not defects? I mean, look, is there anything that you can limit God of? I don't think so. Not even evil things can limit God. He can control them. He can use them when he wants to. He's not scared of it, and somehow they are not too far from him. Even the devil is written in the Bible that he goes to heaven. He goes close to God and interacts with God. He even interacts with God more often than even the creation or any other close angels or angels that are there with the living before the living God. The devil was there. He goes there. He visits there. In the time, if you read the story of Job, you realize that he entered. He goes there, and sort of God agrees with him to do what he had to do before he does it. And I mean, why, oh God, if the devil himself, the embodiment of defect of all that is there, what is God cause problem with whoever defects something and said, we can't come out? If he can't come, how would he even make an offering? Lest he profane my sanctuary, for I am the Lord sanctifying them, and all that. The statement sometimes is very. We go to 22, the holiness of offerings. You see, the holiness of the very offering. That's not about the priest, it's about offerings. In 4, he says, in 1, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to Aaron and his sons, that they may separate themselves from the holy things of the children of Israel, and that they do not profane my holy name by what they dedicate to me. I am the Lord. Now, in 4, we jump to 4, verse 4, chapter 22, verse 4. Then whatever man of the descendants of Aaron who is a leper or has a discharge shall not eat the holy offerings until he is clean. And whoever touches anything made unclean by a corpse or a man who has had an emission of semen, sperm, I'm sure you know semen, yes, or whoever touches any creeping thing by which he would be made unclean, or any person by whom he would become unclean, whatever his cleanliness may be. The person who has touched any such thing shall be unclean until evening, and shall not eat the holy offerings unless he washes his body with water. Wash your body with water. Like you get dirty, everybody wash his body at the end of the day. Okay, but for some reason you're washing with water again because you are unclean. That kind of telling them, teaching people how to be clean, to keep themselves neat. Because I don't see I can't make much of what is being said here. But at the end of the day, is a direct one-on-one guidance, step-by-step guide of every way of life. And God is giving them that rules to come according to true Moses. And the leper, leprosy, all those things is what? It's unclean. They couldn't come close to God or come close to or touch an offering of that nature. And if you have a miss, you go masturbate yourself, and probably you've wasted the semen, your sperm or something. In that sense, it's wrong before God. And if you are in that situation, you can't even come before God. You can't come before Jehovah. Let me be more specific. Jehovah. And on and on, like corpse, any dead body. Whether it's an animal or human being, whichever, you touch dead things, you can't come to God and things like that. I mean, I don't know, but try and think about it. Sometimes you ask yourself, the true Almighty God have issues with these things? You think so? We go to 10. No outsider shall eat the holy offering. One who dwells with the priest or the hired servant shall not eat the holy thing. If he's an outsider of a Jew, he's not a Jewish person, whether he's with the priest or he's whatever, he shouldn't eat the offering. It's only for who the priest, those who are ordained to. But if the priest buys a person with his money, he buys a person with his money, he may eat it, and one who is born in his house may eat his food. If you buy the person becomes part of you. You own that person, so he's now a Jew. He's part of the family. He can eat now. They're offering some. You see, the distinction here tells you that there is an outsider. Jehovah considers people as outsiders. They are not in his coffers. They are not within his main domain of rule. Although we are supposed to accept him as the Almighty God, or any Christian or any Jewish person, we have to accept his God as being the omnipotent, the omniscient, the ultimate God for even their enemies. You understand? Or those that they are told are enemies. That they are enemies because they I don't know whether they are enemies because they didn't found God or God did not found them. Because the Jews themselves didn't found God. God found them. God picked them. So why did God pick them and did not pick the stranger or the enemy? And he turns around and tells these people and say, these people are your enemies. These people are your what do you call it? Strangers. Why would he say that? He created everybody. And then he picked the Jew, and then he's been teaching the Jew that this is an enemy, this is an outsider, this is all that. Why would a father, a good, a loving, caring father do that? Why would you think that? And so in my sense, I do not rule this. I cannot attribute these things to an Almighty God. I can only attribute it to a sub God, the God of the Jews, and is selfishly keeping his own people. Today, if I have kids, I selfishly do everything to protect them. That's how it's happening here. That's what I'm seeing from the side of Jehovah. So if you get bought by money, a Jew buys you, or being adopted by a Jew, or blessed or baptized by a Jew, or whatever means rituals you go through, you become part of Jehovah. Then, or you go through circumcision, like anybody who's circumcised is seen as somehow follow through what Abraham was told. And so in that sense, you are considered to be in the line of how Jehovah operates. And over the years, so many people has been ushered into Jehovah's operation or Jehovah's world in so many sense. So in every way, Jehovah is what? In charge of so many people's life. Whether they know it or not, whether they refuse or they do not refuse. And it's not easy. The spirit, the Christian spirit, the spirit behind Christianity is not like, as we say, merciful, forgiving, in the sense that it will not put you to frustration. It will not harm you. It will not disturb you. No, it will. It does not even deny in the book that it will disturb you. Even if you come to acknowledge and sort of realize that it is not what you expected, or what you are told, or what you're told it is. Because it's like everybody, every group, every tribe, every person has fallen into a line of which ancestors desire and desperation to sort of reach out for assistance, from a spiritual assistance or a physical assistance, has sort of developed something that you are bound to be a part of, that you are bound to. You can't just move out from it. There's rules around it. There's spiritual implications.